They should start kicking ass, just like it said at the beginning of the program.
Man of the hour, tower of power, too sweet to be sour.
Sending your ass on the jabroni jet to the other side of the territory, brother.
The Alabama Hammer.
Nightmares on the best part of my day.
The goods from the woods.
Hot damn!
Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
He's eating.
Pat Riley's eating. I'm Mr. Good, man of the hour, tower of power, man who is too sweet of a sour, body made of twisted steel, supersonic sex appeal. And who we talking with today?
Well, could we all try our Pat Riley? Pat Riley.
Pat Riley.
Yeah,
About right.
That's actually hers is the most accurate because Pat is normally eating.
We got hungry up in here. You know they don't.
That sandwich.
They don't feed us.
Yeah.
You understand?
And with us today is our very special guest,
Emily Mellin.
There we go.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Hell yeah. Apparently there's nothing new on Elvis Radio.
Well, not just nothing new. No, there's always something new on Elvis Radio. There's nothing
The guy's
new.
been dead since 1977.
No, I know, no, but there's different talk, different crazy. You have not experienced the insanity that is Elvis Radio. Where else do you get Hillbilly Jim coming in and talking about Elvis?
Really?
Where else do you have the mayor of Memphis on there talking about how Elvis ended the Cold War? Where else? Where else do you get Elvis's eye doctor talking about how strong Elvis could deal with glaucoma because of his karate training? Only on Elvis Radio.
No, we're
that's
setting
insane.
up, and Goodnight's laying here on the couch on the phone.
My back hurts. You got a heating pad, by the way, Rivers?
Don't. Just yesterday.
He's laying on the couch, and he just is on the phone with this guy Slapnuts.
He called me.
He's like, Slapnuts, let me tell you something. There's nothing new on Elvis Radio.
Well, no, it's 79. There is new stuff. There's nothing ever new on the GK original Elvis hour.
GK.
GK George Klein. He was one of Elvis's like Memphis Mafia guys.
Yeah.
And he has a syndicate.
He's no Bill Rock.
No, he's no Bill Rock, but he's still good. Sometimes it's up there. When he interviews Jared Chestnut, for example, that's who wrote Trouble. That it's right up there. But he also has a syndicated show that they play on other channels, just called the GK Original Elvis Hour, and it's much.
Is it a question?
Well, no, that's
Hour?
right, because if you've ever
Maybe
heard,
two.
no, it's not that Scooby Doo. If you ever hear George Klein talk, he talks really fast and he forgets things. Like, Big Jim, what was that? Elvis said to me, he said GK, and I said, yeah, Elvis, and I said, GK. Go and find me that girl, GK. But if you on the original Elvis hour, he talks in a slower radio voice, which is noticeably different. So whenever it comes on, it's this is George Klein with the original Elvis hour. And
He's got his dictation coach there with a ruler, slapping him on the fucking hand every time he softens his G's.
Enunciate your diphthongs, George.
It's a definitive, not a question.
But what he phrased it like that. And the point is, there's never any good tidbits on that show because it's just an hour-long syndicated show where they play the Wonder of You in every freaking episode, and it's way too heavy on 70s.
And then the one that
stuff.
I caught on was apparently Goodnight was coaching Slapnuts on how not to use certain high-level obscenities for something.
Yeah, well, sometimes he does publicity for me. And I tell him, do not use any N-words and watch the C-word stuff. Because I don't go for that neither. You understand? I'm a polite man. I really am.
By a very loose definition.
No, I'm a man of manners. You know, if I'm, say, working at a table cutting things with some girl or something, and you know, when they're leaning over, I'm not trying to touch them.
No,
so
but
get out of the way when I'm slinging them cheeseburgers.
They
you
can
understand?
talk about their butts as soon as they turn around.
No, not the people I work with. Only
just the passersby.
Yeah, only the customers. That's completely different. Completely different.
Fair game.
So what are we actually talking about today?
I almost feel guilty saying what we are going to talk about, but we're talking guilty pleasures on television.
Yeah.
My favorite guilty pleasure is on Netflix right now. Hoarders.
I don't care about the program. I don't care about cleaning up. I don't care about anything. Just stay away from me right now. Well, you need to care. You need to care. Now. Or I don't care what happens. I will sit there and send you all away.
Dear God. Because I realize that, like, when it comes to reality television, ultimately, and it might be some, more contained version of obsessive compulsive on my end. Ultimately, what I want in reality television is a before and after picture. That's it. I love Pimp My Ride because the cars start off inconceivably shitty, and by the end, the engines are better. They are just now painted with flames, which was always my thing. If I ever got on Pimp My Ride, I'd be like, exhibit, do whatever the fuck you want. If there's a goddamn flame on my car, I'm burning West Coast Customs to the ground. You can go fuck yourself. But that's what I like. Is
you don't like
after.
Flames.
Huh?
You don't
What's
like
Big
flames.
Dane
For
gonna
some
do?
reason, they always put goddamn flames. Like, they would paint the car like red, and he'd be like, "That looks great." And then they would come in and paint it black, and then the red would become the flames.
Well,
like, why?
it's sort of the classic hot rod motif, I guess.
Which is fine unless you're painting a Ford Escort.
Yeah. They do
If
make
it's a 57
Well,
Chevy,
Ish,
then hell yeah.
to
Bam
be
Bam
fair,
Bigelow
Ish
Ford
only
Escort.
has a few ideas because he works on a certain
Ish.
type of car.
What's Ish doing these days?
But we could find out. We live here now.
Yeah, we live on the West
I was
Coast.
going to say, go down to probably Hawthorne or some shit, wherever
We
they were at.
need to find a Yellow Pages.
Yeah, we'll go visit Joe Raines at his check cashing place, and then go to West Coast Customs across the street. Yeah, that.
Do you hoard anything yourself, Rivers? Or you just like the lifestyle, being around it?
I don't know what it is about that show. I mean, it's completely engrossing. First of all, you can just really get into it, and you go through all the stages with each character on the show. Like, I mean, your first reaction is disgust, and then disgust turns to anger, and then anger turns into sympathy, and then it turns into a clean living room.
Yep.
By the end of the show, along the way, you find up to 18 mummified cats, which was the most they've ever found in an episode.
Yep.
Where it was just completely impassable, and the kittens were just getting smothered under trash. But it's all on Netflix now, Pat. So you can.
Oh, wonderful.
Did you ever watch Hoarders?
No, I didn't.
They would just meet up with some woman who her house was completely covered in chickens. That was a good one.
Yep.
She just let chickens.
That must have really stank.
Oh, yeah.
Chickens
That's
do.
the thing about Hoarders. You watch it, you're like, I'm so happy
I
there's
live
no
next
smell.
It's not a
door to a
smell-o-vision.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Understand.
Exactly.
Yeah, I live next door to a hoarder, and I just don't want to revisit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just all cat pee, pretty much.
Yeah.
They had no cats.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, but
What did they hoard?
fast food trash.
Oh, God.
Weird.
Yeah,
That's really
All
bad.
those little Monopoly pieces.
yeah.
Well, you never know, you might win.
They're the only people to complete the board.
Yeah.
Hoarders. I like watching that show because no matter how much my impeccable housekeeping has lapsed,
Yeah.
I put on an episode of that, and I'm like, I'm
Is
good.
Justin to blame for?
I mean, we're both indoor homeless people, really. Right now, it just looks like we're squatting, but we stole a really nice television. But, it's like we don't have, floor-to-ceiling newspaper. We're not getting, if there was an emergency, EMTs couldn't get through here. And
Right.
I have not unearthed a cat skeleton.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
And we still do laundry, so
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we're still...
He never got the rug, though, with the MC Escher design or whatever he was talking about that time.
One day, Daddy.
That's the other thing about Hoarders. You get done watching, you're like, I have got to clean. I have got to fucking clean up in here. Even if it's not that dirty. My room is looks spotless because I've been watching Hoarders all day yesterday.
Nice.
So that's my guilty one. But yeah, any before and after. I was in a Flip This House.
Oh, yeah.
Trick
oh,
my
yeah.
truck.
my
Trick
truck.
I like tricked my truck the best.
Yep.
Do you
Trick My Truck was
surprise
great.
it or something? How do you trick a truck? They're not really conscious when you think about it. Switch over to the goddamn snow tires and then wake it up or something.
You just make it an El Camino. It doesn't know what's happening.
Put
Technically,
diesel in the engine, it really messes that one up.
I mean, technically, Pimp My Ride should be about a rental car service, really, if we're going literal like that.
That is true, yeah. Those cars have been with everyone, but they look nice, no doubt about that.
Yeah, that's true.
And some of them are pretty high class and expensive. And the best thing, of course, they all come with satellite radio.
And you can get the Elvis Hour.
Exactly. GK original Elvis Hour.
Elvis
Pay
Hour?
you so much to endorse that. That's good.
I'll endorse
Got a
it in
new
today.
suit on. It's all.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing my golf. I have to. I've got a golf game after this, so we
Hole
do
in
have to
one,
get
Mr.
this
Goodnight
done.
right there.
Exactly. I got a hole in one. Everything. I got a couple of holes
Your
myself.
Caddyshack attire.
Yeah, I'm the best golfer there is out there. I go out there. I got higher scores than any one of them motherfuckers.
So, Emily, what are your guilty pleasures on the tube?
Oh, God, I've got so many. My boyfriend likes to call it my garbage TV. You're just watching your garbage TV. I like
Housewives.
I like Housewives. I like Dance Moms.
I like Housewives and Dance Moms too, but I've
Dance-
never seen either show.
Dance Mom?
Dance
That's
Moms.
right. The Dance Moms is it follows the Abby Lynn something dance troupe. She's like 4 stone 5 if she's an ounce. Huge woman, but she's telling these girls how to dance, and like the mothers all watch on the sidelines. and they're incredibly competitive.
How from Atlanta is she?
Actually, I get more like Staten Island. From
Oh, really?
her.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah.
just taking a shot in the dark because
Yeah.
really,
Where's it actually set?
Pirouette, damn it.
No, but it wouldn't be Atlanta. It would be Dunwoody.
Right.
Yeah, Roswell, Alpharetta.
But she's very raspy. Like she knows all how to instruct these girls to do things, but there is no way she can do these things herself. I mean, like her knees are just like buckling as she's standing there, and she's got her favorites, and she treats them like they're not 8 and 9 years old. It's more like you got this big raspy voice. If you want to be a part of the ADL Dance Society, you have to have pretty feet all of the time. You're not going to be my favorite. And like you just see these little girls
These, like, 8-year-olds?
crack. Oh yeah. One of the girls.
I don't know
from
about
that-
you. When I was 8, I never wore shoes.
Yeah, exactly. They should be out having fun.
That was
and
my favorite
instead-
part of being a child. Is
I would
fucking
wear shoes. I just skip the pants part.
And they all have like Vanna White hair and makeup, and it's very odd.
Do they give the kids the fake teeth?
Some of them have fake teeth.
Have you seen that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's the craziest
little
shit.
They
kids
cap
with-
the kid his teeth.
Well, some of them wear what's called flippers, where you just put it
Like
over.
the things they put on their feet when they swimming.
Same name, but different part of the body.
No,
They're
it-
smaller
It's
too.
like
in the mouth.
kids with
They
big,
put the flipper, the things in their feet. How do they fit it in their mouth?
Well, they're like dentures. They like hook on to like other teeth,
Yeah.
and it makes them look like they have a complete set.
Yeah, it's like these little 8-year-olds that have like Gary Busey teeth.
yeah, exactly.
Pageant's over, butthorn.
You don't hear butt whore enough. You
Do
really
around these
should.
parts.
You do on this show.
They should just put Gary Busey on that Dance Mom.
Yeah, they should. Oh man.
Somebody,
Sparkle, honey, boo boo.
somebody get in touch with him about this shit.
4 years of point, butthorn.
First position.
Have you ever seen Flashdance? I was considered for that, but I got a DUI and lost the role.
I smeared my face on Wilshire.
I couldn't get a role in Fame because I smeared my face on Wilson. I was in training for my dance, butthorn. I went to John Cassisi Dance Studio. He's the dance doctor.
He is the dance doctor, and he's right next door too. So we should
That's
have
right.
brought him over.
Yeah, our downstairs neighbor at Disgraceland.
Yeah.
He looks like a short-haired Yanni.
He's sexy. I may he's a sexy man. Seriously.
Of course, his name rhymes with sexy, sort of. John Cassisi.
I like that. We shouldn't, but we should really invite him over.
Yeah.
So is it Dance Moms? There's more than one.
There is more than one. Each girl has
they
a
all
mom,
have mothers.
thankfully.
Well, I got that. Wait, so I
That's
thought you were.
science.
See, I thought you were saying it was just one mom yelling at all the kids.
No, Abby is not a mother. The owner of the dance company is not a mother. They're but each
So
one
the
of the
show
girls,
is built on a false premise.
Exactly, as most reality TV shows are. But each dancer has a mom who is just hovering over them the entire time,
Right.
getting them far too involved in the politics.
To what end?
To the end of like they're at a competition and there's a little 8-year-old girl mouthing off to the behemoth that I described earlier
Yeah.
about how she really should have a solo lyrical dance because she's been a part of this team and she's put in the hard work, and just you hear the mother's voice through these little children. So they're
Wow.
basically like ventriloquist dummies for their mothers who I'm sure in their day could get it, but decided to have children instead of wearing condoms. And I don't agree with
Well,
that
if the moms
at
wear the
all.
condoms, that might not work too good.
There's female condoms. They're a little weird, but
Where did they put? Can we say this on the radio? It's
It's not a brand name.
I don't think.
not a brand name.
not a
Can they
brand
put
name.
it over? The clitoris. I mean, where do they put it?
no.
How does that work?
It's more like
They just put it on the inside and you stick it in there.
Yeah. It's not very. I've never used one, but I hear that it's not very. It's like if you ever tried to. Well, it's like that time you fucked a Ziploc bag. Like
You were there for that?
they were selling tickets. I couldn't say no. I had nothing else to do.
It had peanut butter in it. I'll do anything for peanut butter. You know that.
Anything.
Yeah. I knew this girl liked peanut butter too. I'm like, shit, you're doing a cleanup, honey.
Next on Dance Moms. In 2 weeks, the Abbey Lee Dance Company will be back in LA.
Kathy has a whole new team.
A lot of these girls, they've got history with Abby. Some of them have been scorned by her.
I will be sick to my stomach. If my junior league competition team lets this imbecile beat us, they will never hear the end of it from me.
Get your rodent butt out of my dressing room.
So what are the other moms like?
Well, there's the one who looks 50 but dresses like she's going to the club. There's
That's my favorite.
Yep. And then there's the blonde one, and the blonde one.
Okay.
Well, there's no age limits
about the
at
blonde?
Charlotte.
We call
Russe.
them Fox and Friends. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
Like a Stepford Wives or something.
Right. And they all know they're on camera, so they got, the tarantula eyelashes and, the slapped on gel nail acrylic bus driver fingers and
Like the ones that you would get for free if you lost on Jeopardy.
yes,
Remember that
the
shit?
door prize. Yeah,
Lee press on
exactly.
nails.
They got the door prize.
consolation prizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more there's so much lycra on that show. Like just
How many poor schmucks went on game shows in the 80s and won Lee
Lee
Press
press
on
on nails. I walk out there with Lee press on nails in a Jeopardy home game. I'm like, shit. Should have went on the Merv Griffin show or something. But the dance thing, where does it set anyway?
I think it's set in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
But after one of the dancers, she's in a Sia video. But after she got famous, the owner of the dance company decided she was going to try her hand at bringing the girls to Los Angeles. And that just created a whole bunch of drama because...
Isn't it technically kidnapping?
I mean, the moms came with, so probably, like, I'm sure the husbands have no
Custodial
idea when they went.
interference, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. She, before she left, decided that she was only going to make 2 of them famous. But she brought all 6. And then the others got wind of that because, this woman likes to talk shit on everybody and then deny it. I mean, she's basically like experiencing one long sugar high and then crash and then high and then crash. And these poor little girls have to absorb all of it. I mean, they're going to be on Hoarders when they get older.
Are they any good,
For
though?
sure.
Can they
They're-
actually dance or sing?
They're amazing. I mean, they make me feel like so lazy and out of shape just watching them. And technically, they're incredibly proficient. It's a little off-putting though because they are so young, but they're so expressive and like such good performers.
Because she is the old fat lady. I've actually seen the show because my friend Nicole watched. She's actually a well-known dance teacher, isn't she?
I believe so. Yeah.
And you figure though, this might be sort of the big hair and Lee press on nails, Pittsburgh type version of it. But if you're in ballet school, is it any damn different?
I don't think
Except
so.
you've got some brutal, Russian nightmare woman teaching you instead.
And no cameras. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you just have Degas there painting.
Exactly. Cheddar Degas. I learned all about him on like Angelina Ballerina when I was watching one of my guilty pleasures.
How does Dance Moms compare to Angelina Ballerina?
Well, there's fewer mice, for example, on Dance Moms.
None, just fewer.
Yeah, there's fewer.
Is that PBS Kids?
Yeah.
Oh, PBS Kids is my guilty pleasure because I'm not guilty about the Christian shows that I watched.
You should embrace Gospel Bill.
Oh, I do. Gospel Bill is my life. I think we covered him in the past.
Yeah.
But if you got I just say it real fast. If you got the 24-hour PBS Kids, you get Caillou. You can get Caillou and watch Caillou as we talk about. Curious George. Sometimes it's pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. Especially you watch it too, honey.
I do. Yeah.
The ones I like the ones that are in the country. Do you like the country ones or the city ones?
I like the country.
Like the country?
Yeah.
You get the Quince, You got Allie, she's a good friend of George. You got
these guys are just like
Bill,
what the fuck are they on
Is
about?
Bill white or black? Have you ever wondered about that? Because he seemed like he a white kid, but he's kind of swarthy.
On PBS they do tend to go more towards ethnically ambiguous, just so everyone feels, and that's what I like about it because you get good lessons, you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
They teach you to be good to other people and make healthy choices.
Yeah, although have you ever seen Maya and Miguel?
No.
Sometimes it seems like there's no point to the show other than the fact that it's ethnic because it's a cartoon about Maya and Miguel and their two kids and their brother and sister and best friends as well, as the theme song tells us, and whose sister is their best friend. But it seems like the show just exists because the characters are Latin. Because so the girl has her friend, and one of them's Chinese, and one of them is like the one where they make all the baseball players.
Dominican
and things like that. And there is not one. Even though this is chilling,
where they make all the baseball.
No, even though it's like a factory down there, and even though this is chilling, you understand, there is no white males on the show except one kid. And he is missing an arm, so even he is technically like a minority of some way.
Yeah.
So it's very much into the diversity thing. But the cartoon itself ain't that good.
It just didn't progress further.
Their mother is hot as shit, though. I won't point that out.
What's the show on PBS Kids where it's the animal show and the
Arthur.
guys? No.
Arthur is the shit.
No,
Yeah.
but
I
it's
love
like
that
it's
show.
not a cartoon, but it's like guys that look like birds, like robot birds.
Oh, that's Wild Kratts. That was the Kratt brothers. They were two brothers, and they had just a regular wildlife show.
Yeah.
And then they used to be on cable. Was it Zaboomafoo, the one with the puppet spider monkey?
Lemur, yeah.
But then later on, they gave them their own like sort of adventure superhero show where they get those animal power suits and shit. And that's what that is. It's the Kratt brothers cartoon, Wild Kratts. I don't like that one at all, I will not watch it.
I'm a big Daniel Tiger fan.
You like the new one?
I haven't seen the one since the baby sister was born.
Okay, I mean so you watch the cartoon, generally.
Yeah, from time to time.
I haven't watched it too much because it's hard for me to get. I was so fond of the regular Mr. Rogers puppets that it's hard for me to get used to that one, and I don't think there's anything bad about it. But on your recommendation, I'm going to actually start watching it.
I think if it gets an appeal if you grew up watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood because Daniel Striped Tiger was by far the best.
He was so cute.
Oh, yeah.
We had a cat look like him when I was a kid.
Did he have a little wristwatch?
No, he didn't wear the watch. That was the one difference. And he didn't live in the clock. We tried stuffing him in there, but
did he love his toy trucks?
Aww.
No, he didn't do that either. He would actually attack mine and all that stuff. But I will start watching that show on your recommendation. But we'll see how good it is. Yeah. I will come back with that for anybody listening, and you'll get my review too of Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood.
We worked with a kid at the pizza place who was kind of stupid, and we asked him like, "Oh, what's your favorite movie?" And he was like, "Oh man, I like Arthur." And we were like, "Wow, the Dudley Moore movie." And he was like, "Nah, man, the one with the anteater." We were like,
Binky Barnes and all that shit.
First of all, that's a television show.
I swear to God, Mr. Ratburn is a pervert.
I don't trust
You've
him
seen him
one
too?
bit.
You don't want to hear my Binky Barnes?
Someone pulled the fire alarm? Who would do a thing like that?
What? You don't think Hey, Arthur.
Man, that's it. I specialize in Binky Barnes.
That's really good.
Let's hear him doing Elvis radio.
This is the original Binky Barnes Hour on Elwood City Radio.
Because they live in Elwood City. You know, if there was any 5-year-olds here, they'd be loving it.
That was amazing.
I don't get to do that much because nobody knows what the fuck I'm doing.
That big old head and
I actually tried to prank call Elvis Radio once as Ed Crosswire, Muffy's dad.
Yeah.
This is Ed Crosswire from Crosswire Motors. but they never played it on the radio. But do you know, to bring it full circle, Slapnuts used to do Arthur prank calls into Elvis Radio on Bill Rock. My name is Arthur. My friend and I, Buster, have sleepovers together, and we watch Elvis movies. He actually does this shit.
Emily, what's another one?
Insane.
Oh man!
But yeah, Arthur, do you know this? Arthur, I believe, is tied with South Park, which I don't usually watch, as the longest running cartoon, the second longest behind The Simpsons running cartoon that's still out there.
I believe that.
Because they both premiered, I think, in
97.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because you watch the older episodes, and Muffy's like, "Where's my VCR?"
Right,
and shit like
right.
that. And the kid is probably, "What the hell is that thing?"
Yeah. Let's record an audio cassette.
Do you think Francine and Muffy have something going on?
I think they will in college.
Yeah. Well, definitely
yeah.
Francine.
The
She's
interest is
definitely
there.
Yeah.
I mean, her name is Muffy, so like
That's true.
come on.
Ed Crosswire, you got a dirty mind. I know I do, but I can't help it.
Elvis Radio. Elvis Radio?
The original Ed Crosswire Hour, sponsored by Crosswire Motors.
Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy tree. My friends say I'm acting wild as a bug. I'm in love. I'm all shook up.
So what's another one on your?
You said
guilty
the Housewives.
pleasure?
Housewives, but more than that, though, I like My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding.
Sorry?
My Big Fat American Gypsy Wedding is back. With more dresses, more dazzle,
Everything keeps getting better.
and more I-dos than ever before.
We didn't get married right this second.
In a unique insight into a highly secretive society.
Turn your camera off now.
Meet the people battling to keep gypsy traditions alive.
This is more gypsy than I bargained for.
My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding.
I didn't know you was
I was gonna
married.
say, isn't gypsy kind of a slur now?
It is,
Yeah.
unless you're on
Allman Brothers.
TLC or the Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
Or Cher.
Cher.
Or Cher.
Well, she's like she's an
She's
Allman
half,
Brothers
like an
circle.
Allman
she's like
Brothers,
half
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I remember one time seeing Michael P.S. Hayes going to the limo with Greg Allman and Cher. True story.
How did they tell Michael P.S. Hayes from Greg Allman? It's like, oh, Greg's the ugly one.
But My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding is about the American gypsy culture getting, like, when they have teen weddings. So it's these 16-year-old girls that marry.
And these are people that are actually Roma.
They all live down in Georgia.
Okay.
They live
Yeah.
where my mother lives because they make jokes about them all the time.
Yeah,
In fact,
yeah.
a friend of hers did the gypsy costume on Halloween or something down there.
And I love it because it's all like their bridal gowns are just like these big poofy Cinderella numbers. Like their life's purpose is to get married at like 16 so they can clean house for the rest of their lives. But you
Just like Cinderella.
Right, exactly. and they have their ball gown that they get married in, and then they have their fun party dress that they party all night in, and it's just rhinestones up the wazoo.
What channel is this on, first of all?
TLC.
It sounds like
The
it's
learning
Learning
channel.
Channel.
Yeah.
well,
I
there's
learned
been a
so
lot of
much.
network drift, since the old days.
Oh,
It
most
sounds like
definitely.
it's watching a drag show, except with like real women up
It
in
is. It is. I mean, and real women. I
16-year-old
Yeah.
children.
Well,
Exactly.
are these the gypsies, like the European ones, claim they from Romania or whatever, or is this the Irish ones, the Tinkers?
No, these are Romney gypsies. They claim to be Romney gypsies, but they all have Southern accents.
Okay.
And a lot of them
I have
live.
to watch this show.
Oh yeah, and a lot of them live in those like what I don't consider to be like mobile home or trailers.
Oh, the
but
double wide
The double
things?
wides.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's not
Who's got my balaclava?
But you see the wedding party get their nails done, and like the guys just have the plastered on hair, and like they have to meet the dad, which usually involves a hunting trip. And you know, you hear about how you stay skinny as a gypsy girl. They all eat cucumbers swimming in vinegar because it keeps them slim. And
is it the swimming that makes them swim?
That's like the first part of the Korean food where they just bring you
right,
the
exactly. They eat Korean appetizers exclusively.
But how do they not get a cramp by eating when they're swimming like that?
Well,
and where do they fill a pool up with vinegar?
It's a little kiddie pool, you understand.
Okay.
And they just
Must
chop
be
them up there.
expensive, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, they're a community, so they all pitch in. Just a little,
And
little
that
bit.
white distilled vinegar, you get the cleaning vinegar.
Like
and
the
it's a little bit
Spartans,
cheaper.
they all pitch in
But my
communally.
favorite part of the show is the weddings are always running late. And for some reason, they can't pull up the big Humvee limousine to the front door. So you have to watch this poor little girl with like 38 pounds of crinoline just like hoofing it across the street, piling herself into this big thing. Her mom's screaming at her because they never like the husband. But then
How old is the husband?
Husband's usually between 18 and 23.
Okay. I was ready for it to be like, I don't know what
Yeah,
you think
it's
about.
it's only slightly criminal. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
exactly. And they all do asphalt work. They all do driveways.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, you know, that's the way it was in old days anyway. I mean, you know, people get married at ages like that. There's nothing it's culturally different.
It's legal
now,
in Georgia, baby.
Yeah, you know, I got no issues with it. I mean, they do it in Afghanistan, and they're doing all right there.
well, if they do it in
They're doing great.
But there's this one woman who makes all of the dresses, and she's just like, she knows how bad it all is, but they keep paying her, so they'll bring the camera in, she'll make fun of the family, she'll make fun of the culture, and then she'll describe this like beautiful dress, and then they bring it out, and it just looks like a fucking cake topper. And, you know, that's like their thing. Like
Blood
they keep
money.
Sometimes afterwards they keep them like in the living room like Christmas trees, and then you see them like 8 months later and they got like 3 kids somehow, and it's just like, all right, well, your life is over. You peaked last week,
Jesus.
and at least you're not married to your uncle, because that almost happened once, and that was interesting.
Well, maybe they you know, find happiness in life as being part of the community or something.
I mean, yeah, like happiness, I guess, can be a really relative thing,
Yeah.
depending on what your environment is. And they're so prideful. It's just like, it's on par to me with like juggalos. Like, I don't see how you can be so proud.
That's kind of
family.
Right,
kind of
exactly.
a slur there. I mean, juggalo.
But yeah, it's great. And every time I'm watching it, Justin comes home and sees me, and he's just like, you need a minute? I can go outside and smoke. It's okay. No, you don't have to turn it off. It's fine.
It sounds kind of like Dance Moms, only without the dancing.
There is dancing, but it's all like gyrating. Oh, and then they have like their little nieces that are 6 and 8, and they're all doing the same thing, just like, you know, little strippers. It's awful.
We had a little bit of a problem because nobody's going to get in my wife's face. It's my wife.
I was talking to your grandfather, okay? My stupid son told me I am there. I hope you...
I don't know what Lottie was flipping out about. Something like Pee Wee was taking up from my family, and then she got mad. She just wanted to yell.
Listen to me about my son. I ain't even done nothing.
Like, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, but this family is nuts.
Get that out of my face, son. Knock the top your head off.
Look here.
No, it ain't looking here.
I'm telling you, she's loony. But don't forget, I'm putting her in a home.
The Learning Channel.
The Learning Channel.
I know.
Yes.
I used to watch shit about dinosaurs up on there. What the hell's happened?
Honey Boo Boo happened. Honey Boo Boo happened.
Yeah.
Was that a kid's show?
No, she was actually, Honey Boo Boo started, she was on an
Pageant
episode
moms, right?
of Extreme Couponing. And that's how they found Big Mama.
Now, I've watched Extreme Couponing.
My grandmother lived it.
It's when you get like, you know, your stock of supplies. They
have like
hoard
1,000 barbecue sauces.
Right.
And you're like, no one's going to eat that much barbecue sauce.
36 of deodorant. No one's using any of it, but it's
But
just
they clip
there.
the coupon and not, you know, to save money as a household budget because it'll do a lot of that. But they just do it just to hoard shit that's on sale.
Yeah.
And if you're good enough at it, you can go to the end of the checkout line, give them all your coupons, and they'll give you money back because they work the system. Like Mama June, Honey Boo Boo's mother, was just next to her printer and her computer all the time, hoarding these coupons. They'd do the one big Walmart trip every 3 months, and then you put it in the stock hold, and then they, I guess, were observing the family, and it's like, oh, you also do pageants with that one? What? Let's film that.
Because I remember Honey Boo Boo from. I'm saying this very.
I remember Honey Boo Boo from the Punjab.
You know, of course, I remember Honey Boo Boo from the Great War. I remember her from. Well, goddamn, what's the pageant show?
Toddlers and Tiaras.
Toddlers and Tiaras. Yeah, I remember her from that, and that was where she made her famous declaration.
I'm Alana. I'm 6, and I'm a beauty queen. The other girls must be crazy if they think they're gonna be me, Honey Boo Boo Child.
That's where she got her name, and then she had the Go-Go Juice, of course.
Go-Go Juice.
Go-Go Juice.
A lot of pageant moms and people know what this special juice is. Everybody has their different concoctions. You know, special juice is just to help her energize her. A lot of moms say, oh, you're doping up your child. Well, hey, no, I'm not. I'm not hurting her. We have tried the pixie sticks, as they call pageant crack. We went through 15 bags on one pageant, and they just don't do anything for her. She just drinks it for pageants to give her that extra oomph. So whatever works for your child, use it. Here, drink 2 big gulps.
Go-Go Juice make me laughy and play, and it makes me feel like I want to pull my mommy's hair. My Go-Go Juice is kicking in right now.
Oh God! They would feed a child, she was like what, like 6, and she still had a sippy cup. They would give her a sippy cup with half Mountain Dew and half Red Bull, and then she would just go. She was like, "My Go-Go Juice makes me go," and then it would literally show her spinning around in circles and shit. It was insane.
Yep.
That's what I remember.
Why couldn't they put all the crazy people on TV?
Because you don't have to pay them that much.
Go back to the days when Telly Savalas was on.
I have to take a minute because all of my everything I know about bad TV comes from my friend Caroline Gibson, who's the funniest person I know, at BBQ Daydream. When I was still living in Auburn, it was 2009. It was Christmas break, so there was not a lot going on. Me and Caroline were hanging out during the day, and it was raining, and so we were like, well, let's just watch some TV. So we were going through and watching our favorite show, which was Intervention.
Oh, yeah.
Great. And with Intervention, here's the tip. If you've never seen Intervention, you have to read the descriptions. And the descriptions of the show will tell you what drugs they're addicted to. The ones to avoid are alcohol and heroin, because those are just sad
downers
all around. The ones you want to watch are the pill heads, because pill heads are the best because their behavior is so erratic.
I've lived in Florida for 8 years. I don't need to watch that on
I know
TV.
what it's like, man. I was doing Flintstones chewables at one point. I didn't even know who I was anymore.
But a niacin OD at one point, just itchy.
We were. This made me feel so bad. So we're on the A&E on demand section of the cable box, right? And we're just going down the list of all the Intervention episodes and then reading the descriptions. And we'd already watched all the pill ones. We're like, we don't want to watch the alcohol ones. Those are bummers. And then we didn't notice that we had scrolled down and we were now looking at the descriptions of I Can't Believe I Survived. And so we were just reading the description. So it went from like, Martin has been addicted to heroin, and we're like, next. And then the description just said, like Carol Ann was tied up in her bathroom and beaten by her ex-husband and like all this shit. I'm like, whoa, what's she addicted to?
Pain, you understand?
And then we looked at the description like, oh, we're horrible people. But we ran out of Intervention episodes to watch, and then
we needed an intervention.
We needed an intervention, so we switched over to the Bad Girls Club. Okay, so you know how on Real World, every year, there's one psycho, at least. Did you ever watch Real World back in the day?
It was always, it started with Puck, and then it goes all the way down.
I remember when they had like the boy from Kentucky and all that shit.
The Miz.
Right. Yeah.
So they took that concept of like, let's take the one psycho and fill an entire house with the craziest girls there are. And every one of them is like, there's the famous, I didn't come here to make friends. It's every one of those girls is insane, and they all fight.
And what?
Yeah.
What? What you gonna do?
What you gonna fucking do?
I just want chicken Alfredo. I don't know why you coming over here. I don't know. What?
Bitch, you going in the pool, and then they push her in the pool.
Me.
Yeah. that was the thing, because we'd run out of intervention, and you're in a certain mindset with intervention. And Caroline was like, "Oh, well, you should really check out Bad Girls Club." And I was like, "Oh, what is it?" And this is her words, not mine. Bitches get drunk and fight. And I was like, "Okay,
very apt description.
let's give it a go." And goddamn, I loved the season I watched had Natalie, who has come back repeatedly to like host the reunion shows and stuff. And basically, you know how like Flapper Girls would pose in front of the big paper moon? That's sort of how her face looks, just the most gigantic Jay Leno chin of all time. And
Sergeant Slaughter.
She kept saying her catchphrase was, "I run LA."
Don't make me look bad in LA. You gonna be mad because you ain't going to no clubs in Hollywood because I run this bitch. You gonna be mad when I tell them, close the rope. She ain't going in. But I've been on private jets all over the world. Everywhere. I got a brand new BMW at 335 right off the Beverly Hills showroom floor. Kendra's getting hooked up with The Good Life, but I can also take it away just as easily because I run LA. I really don't think these bitches get it right now. I run LA. I run LA. I run LA. Yeah, I run LA. I run LA. You don't. I run LA. So even if I go home, I'm still the here, bitch.
Fine, you go.
Bitch, I'm still here.
Not?
This is my town.
Which was my favorite fucking catchphrase ever.
She's probably better than Via Ragosa.
Well, I was going to say, I didn't even know she did, but I don't follow the politics out here.
Yeah, I was going to say, she had a short term as mayor. She was fantastic.
She's the one on that show that can read, so she is king.
Right. Yeah.
You can read a cue card?
It tells you about the power of literacy and things like this.
Yeah, well, that's why she still has a job.
If you ever want to watch new episodes or you miss episodes of Intervention, I would recommend putting any chaotic show on and then playing a xylophone really, really manically. It's the same thing. And I love how they have like sad, manic xylophone on that show.
Oh, yeah.
Just like,
on Hoarders, they got...
Yep.
Sort of avant-garde edge or something.
It's like, I have a meth problem. Doom, 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 doom,
Yeah.
doom, 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 doom.
Yeah, it's like that.
But it's a xylophone.
Yeah, it's
like a little Fisher-Price one. It
sounds like that solo in the theme song of the Jetsons.
Yes.
See, I was going to say it's the guy warming up before Live and Let Die. Oh shit, man! My favorite. There was an episode of Intervention where the guy was addicted to morphine and African scams. Like
you mean the African
Nigerian
prince scams?
Yeah, so
you
like
think the morphine alone would be enough?
Yeah.
And then they have commercials for Western Union as it's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It just shows there's one scene, like the beginning, it's like, you know, the kids being like, well, my dad has spent over $800,000 and blah, blah, blah. And it just shows him on the phone and he goes, yes, sir. Is this Mr. Washington? Is this Mr. George Washington? I'm like, oh God.
No.
They were telling him his name was George Washington.
Oh, God.
It was horrible.
But he sounds like a real idiot.
He's addicted to morphine.
I don't think it has any side effects that I've seen. I really don't. Is morphine supposed to be bad? Well, Refield doctor is my best friend.
He was burning some trash, and he had passed out by the fire. He had soot and ash in his mouth, and he was just laying there dead asleep.
I remember dreaming I was falling. Didn't dream nothing.
Well, he was walking around the house with, he had like this little light, that like a little LED light that he had on his finger, and he was just wandering around the house like his finger stretched out like E.T. with a fucking dragon sword. And it was just madness.
Shit.
Train will be here in a minute, buddy. We'll get on and go for a ride. That might have been a little bit too much medicine.
That was the night they were trying to like get him to sit down, and he was just wandering around the house with a sword, just like,
wow.
like playing with the camera, basically with the ET finger.
That's bizarre.
Oh yeah, that might be the best one I've ever seen. That
That's
one,
amazing.
That one, and the girl Allison who is addicted to keyboard duster.
Yeah,
where she's just going.
Oh, I've seen this episode.
She's huffing keyboard duster, and then there's this amazing cut where she's huffing it, and she goes, I'm walking on sunshine. And then it cuts like a second later and she's like,
I wish I had a father.
I've only watched one episode of Intervention, and that's the one right there.
Allison, if you're only going to watch
why you've
one,
only
Because
watched
I just saw Intervention, and then under it I just said on the
Keyboard duster.
on the Comcast like preview keyboard duster, and I was like,
I'll give it a try.
well, I can relax my morals for this.
Okay, was she cute?
She had kind of a dead face from doing all the keyboard duster. I think at one point, probably.
It'll
But
do that, dude. The duster, effing.
I feel like I could conquer the world. I need more of aerosol cans. We're gonna leave this instant and get it.
Yeah,
There was
definitely.
that pregnant woman who was eating nail polish.
Oh God, are you
But
talking about?
that's-
Wait, hold on. That's my strange
That's my
addiction.
strange addiction.
Let's we
Yeah.
gotta we
Oh,
gotta make
sorry.
because I have
Eat nail
I have
polish remover afterwards.
Oh, I have a lot of
No,
stuff
you
to say.
definitely die with
I have
that
a lot
one.
of stuff to say about My Strange Addiction.
Yeah.
That one is fucking incredible, but it also almost feels like it's a show founded on a false premise. Like the show wouldn't exist except for the show.
Mhm.
Like there wouldn't be, because it's not. You're not addicted to eating the couch. You're just
No,
eating the fucking
you just
couch.
eat the couch, and they're filming you now. So
Yeah,
you're
now
not
they're
going to
filming
stop
you.
eating the couch.
It's not like an epidemic. It's
No.
not like more people. Like they report it as if like, oh well, you know, if you're not careful, you're also going to eat the ashes of your dead husband, which was a great episode.
Oh God, yeah. Well, I can feel him. It's like he's with me
It's like
all
he's
the
with me,
time.
inside of me.
He'll-
She ate 8 pounds of ashes.
Yeah.
The one that I remember distinctly.
Is this My Strange Addiction or
Yeah, was the one where the guy was having a very carnal relationship with his car.
Ooh, I don't know.
Like he was having,
It's
he
like
was
that Kids in the Hall sketch.
Was it sticking
Or
it in the
SNL one.
tailpipe? How did he do that?
Yeah,
It was a Geo Mistress.
it was. I don't know what it was like. It was like some sort of Dodge Stratus or something like that.
His name was
And then-
Trish.
Trish Stratus.
and he was having a very adult relationship with his car.
Boy.
And of course, you have to admit it to your a loved one or a friend what you were doing.
Does he have loved ones?
His dad.
Oh God.
So he's like, hey dad, I'm having sex with my car, and the dad had the best response ever. He's like, huh? Just like, what? Huh?
Come again.
Well, I figured it might be like, I've seen a couple of cute Camaros. I'd have thought about it myself.
Was he fucking the gas tank?
I don't know.
Surely it's the gas tank.
He was like, it was a lot of cuddling.
No, I think he's fucking a
Caressing.
tailpipe.
Oh, yeah. is
But you
that-
got to line it with something,
well,
like
this
a sock
is-
or something, or else you're going to hurt yourself. And if it's rusty,
Well,
We'd go home and play valet.
you get
together.
lockjaw from
hang
that
on.
shit.
We might be talking about too. Is that My Strange Addiction, or was that the thing about objectum sexuals?
No, this was My Strange
Okay,
Addiction.
because there's a whole
Because there might have been a because they always spin off.
yeah.
They always spin off, and because there was the one where it was like that.
Well,
that British.
obsessed became hoarders.
Yeah, because there was the British special on guys that were in love with real dolls, and that became like a cottage industry for like 2 of those dudes that they showed up on every one of those shows.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Dave Cat and Everard
Yeah,
are
I
on
remember that.
every
I remember
one of
that.
those shows.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave Cat.
Dave Cat.
But yeah, they
The squarest black dude ever.
I think people think having a synthetic partner is strange because it's just so out of their realm of possibility. I just think it's a matter of time before more people are choosing the synthetic option. The relationship I have with Shichan is for my happiness. You know, if I play along and pretend that she can see, she can hear, that sort of thing, well, if that's what makes me happy, you know, that's what makes me happy. So I really see no reason to change.
There was there's a short documentary that was it was on YouTube in like 2006, so I just assume it's still there, called I Married the Eiffel Tower. And it's about a lady.
Is that legal in France? Though?
Yes.
Are they going to recognize
yeah,
that?
they fucking let her. So it's this lady who is attracted to like World Heritage sites.
Okay.
So she's married.
They won't let her do that with the Taj Mahal.
Yeah,
because they
hell
think
no.
that's
Just
stupid.
go for the best.
All right, now,
But they've let her marry. So hold on, real quick. So she marries the Eiffel Tower, and she's on top of it, and she got like somebody to actually do the thing, and she's wearing like a very tight dress, and then just straddles the railing like off the edge.
Oh my god!
To like consummate the marriage. So that was
Jeez
weird.
Louise.
And then she goes.
Yeah, because I was going to ask about that.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be polite, but I thought, there is the antenna on top of it.
But your
And it's real high
access
up.
cuts off I think like 2 stories beneath.
Yeah, but she's married, so she has the sort of intimacy that you get within marriage like
But
that.
the best part is she goes from the Eiffel Tower to the Checkpoint Charlie Museum and proceeds to marry what's left of the Berlin Wall. And like the people at the Checkpoint Charlie Museum, like she doesn't understand
Did David
why
Hasselhoff perform at that too?
I've been looking for a husband.
Did he have his light up jacket for that?
Why do they let people do this stupid
Dude,
stuff?
I don't know,
'Cause
but
they'll pay for it.
But the thing is, like, she didn't understand why, like, that was offensive. It's like people were like, people died here.
Yeah.
Like, this is a worldwide symbol of oppression. Like, it's not cool. It's not. And she's just like, but I love it. But it's great. It's power. It represents,
it's flat.
And I'm like, it
has bad graffiti on
all
it.
over
it's
it.
gross and it's dirty and it represents so much bad.
Yeah.
Amy was hospitalized in the psychiatric ward at St. Luke's at age 19. She is a loner who, since a child, has fixated on objects, organs, fans, globes, washing machines, spaceships. And she is currently fixated with the Twin Towers.
There was
Why
another.
is she marrying buildings anyway? That's just stupid. I mean, you call me old-fashioned, but buildings should be with other buildings.
I agree. Or at least a duplex or something.
Yeah.
Maybe a double wide.
There was another girl on the
Don't want
same.
to marry down.
There was another girl in the same documentary who was like attracted to like old carnival equipment. So it's just her underneath like one of those gravitron machines that like spins around real fast. She's like underneath where all the gears are, and there's just all this oil, and she's underneath it just fucking smearing oil on her face and just like.
White people have too much time on their hands.
I know. Yeah, I was like, you will never see fucking non-rich white people on this show. This is like this is a problem you get from living in the fucking suburbs too long.
Oh.
But yeah, she's just underneath it, just getting off, just fucking smearing.
Wow, my guilty pleasures are way off the rails for this one. I was ready to talk about the Great British Baking Show, but
I want to hear about
Also
this.
good.
I want to
It's
hear
also
about
good.
this.
That's so good.
What's this show, Pat? They bake British
it's the
people or what?
It's the most. It's the most genteel reality show you'll ever see in your entire life. People help each other. It's all these like super. It's these super quaint British people. It's like if they cast like, okay, we need to collect the 12 most quaint British people ever to represent the United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the whole kitchen staff on Downton Abbey.
It's all there's
that
like
big nose guy that comes in,
and the little mouse girl.
Yeah, and Miss Patmore.
Daisy, whatever her name is.
Dude, I've never seen a more anthropomorphic mouse in my life.
Than Daisy? No, she's not a mouse. Mouse is on Angelina Ballerina. But Downton Abbey was parodying on Arthur.
Yeah,
just to bring things
and
full
it was on Sesame Street.
Yep.
No kid, I got to see that.
Yeah.
Who was on there? But that mouse girl's kind of cute for one of them English
No, she's
women.
kind of cute, but I was like, well, if you're doing a.
But they.
I don't like it.
don't-
Don't call me mouse ribbons. I don't like it.
I want to do my exams, Miss Patmore. I don't
Lord
like
Big
it.
Nose comes and goes back to the kitchen.
My wife and I decided that he's a frog. So every time he comes on the stage, every time he comes on the screen before he talks, I just go.
Let's admit this, since we basically all have Downton Abbey. That's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I watch it with my mother and my aunt when I have nothing to do with them over the holidays.
It's a great show.
Great British Baking Show right before Downton Abbey.
So what kind of things do they make?
They have
Eclairs
themes. They have
and-
themes, and they make the most insane big stuff ever. So it's like they have a theme like for the third episode they did cookies.
Okay,
and the
biscuits.
big challenge is you had to make a freestanding cookie structure.
And
And it's just these like
it's like a
And they-
gingerbread tower.
And they put them in a pop-up tent for some reason with
Yeah.
like an outside oven, and it's always like the hottest day of the British year,
Yeah,
which
72
is
or
different from the
something.
normal
Yeah.
Britain year.
And
But
everybody on there is just so adored. Like, it's one of those shows that you root for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I did my master's at Princeton on lemon meringue, and so I'm hoping to incorporate.
Well, no, there was a
I got a master's in eating them.
there was a 17-year-old, like the most ruddy faced, like she just had permanently blushing, and she was just like, my name is Martha, and I'm always looking like I'm ready to cry. You know?
Passionate about biscuits.
Yeah, and she just is like, and everybody helps each other out. There's one guy who's like a construction worker. There's a lot of manual laborers, guys that are manual laborers, and they're just like,
fuck out of.
they're just like,
give me a fucking scout.
Well, no, they have the thing
I'll
where
cook the fuck out of them.
they have like they show like what they do in their regular life, and it's like one of the guys that's like the big guy on there.
I punch meat.
Like Rocky.
Just giant haystacks.
Big Daddy.
He has got a marching band. Yeah. A glee band behind him. No, but there's one guy named Richard who's like he's a construction worker, and he signifies this by always having a pencil behind his ear. And they just show them in their regular lives. Yeah, they show them in their regular lives.
He's cooking with a cop.
No,
and
he's like showing up to like this construction site. He's showing up to this construction site with this big like plate, this platter of cookies, and these like big burly construction workers, like just those kind of guys, and they're all like, "Thank you, Richard. These are wonderful."
They get hungry. You know, it's like anybody else.
And everybody on there is just like this little.
Oh, you put the butterscotch right in the batter, did you?
It buttercream icing. I love it.
Oh, that's great.
Like they have an old like northern Scottish guy with the thickest Scottish accent. It's like basically just like it's so good. It's so good.
Well, I have to see this show.
Yeah.
It's on PBS nowadays.
It's on PBS nowadays.
Is it on what is the computer? Do they have it on?
Yeah,
there
they have
too?
it on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
My other, I have a lot of PBS themed guilty pleasures. Antiques Roadshow.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, my mom,
Love.
dude, you guys can catch Gail Langley on the Mobile, Alabama edition of Antiques Roadshow. Yeah,
I'm going to do that right when she bring in.
Yeah, she brought in a painting, a piece of folk art that she got. She's
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try and find it.
I think it's the most recent Mobile episode, although it might be the one before that.
Because I was hoping she wasn't one of the jabronis at the end in the feedback booth that's just like, "Hi, I brought this lamp thinking that I could get another mortgage on my house, but it cost $5."
I think she was in that group the first time she was on Antiques Roadshow. She's been on twice.
Well, she works.
I thought I could pay off the house, but I waited in line for 10 minutes and found out that this bank that I had when I was a kid was worth $3.
Apparently,
but Lee Kino is hot.
Apparently, they don't take rebar here. This is not a recycled metals place. This is
I came in with 100 Alex Rodriguez rookie cards.
I came in with 100 Alex Rodriguez rookie cards,
and I started my own store.
And some Beanie Baby with pieces of bear.
I'm a big. I used to be a big Maury guy.
Oh, dude, Maury.
And my favorite Maury.
When he was on A Current Affair.
Is
Remember
it the
that?
Progeria children?
No.
Oh, God, he needs to stop dressing them up.
The best Maury's. One is the ones where people are afraid of things. So it's like, I'm afraid of birds. So they have some
popping.
Yeah. They have the one where it's like, I'm afraid of pickles. So they just start throwing pickles at the guy. Or like, I'm afraid of birds, so they send in some poor like production assistant
or something with a bird.
They bring in like some poor production assistant in like a San Diego chicken outfit, and the person goes, ah! Like runs and does the you're not the father loop around.
That's my favorite, dude.
But
tell people you're afraid of them, and then they scare you with it.
Yeah.
It's not meant as like therapy. It's just they punk you.
Yeah. But you have to face your fears.
I'm real big on the boot camp episodes. Like,
Yeah.
My mama can't tell me what to do. I don't give a fuck.
I remember the one where New Jack came as the special boot camp person. That was scary. That was legitimately scary. But the one that I always remember, and it's like on one level, and it's just for one aspect. So they have the one where it's the Make-A-Wish ones.
Yeah.
Which are always great.
Oh, yeah.
Always great. Whenever that's one thing that always you can tug at my heartstrings.
Wait. it's some dying kid's wish is to see people fight. And it's
No. So it's
room.
not like, not my dying wish is to see like the guy dancing when he
Maury,
finds out.
I have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Can you please have somebody announce whether or not they're the father of
Yeah,
this?
no. No,
In my hospital room.
he's the one that facilitates it.
Oh, okay.
So, those are always great. And there was one where there was this teenager. Her name was Petra, and she had spina bifida.
Uh-huh.
And the thing that she wanted to do her entire life was to meet Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. She wanted to meet Busy Bone. And, Busy Bone, hey, he's
cool.
He's cool. He has an interesting story.
Yeah.
He was, kidnapped when he was 7. America's Most Wanted. He was found. Great story. Busy Bone.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He's really interesting. But the thing that makes it so crazy is they cut to Busy Bone in the back, where they do that thing, cut to the person in the back in the screen. Busy Bone is standing there, and behind him are 2 guys in druid robes. Red druid robes. Like he brought the Ministry of Darkness.
Yeah, I was going to say, he looks like the Undertaker.
Like they were going to...
Is this the show where people are afraid of shit?
Only of dying.
Yeah,
Only
and
of
it's
dying.
just like 2 guys.
They hit the gong.
They could have been Midian and Viscera. You don't know. And it's just like it's this touching moment. But
when they put Maury on the crucifix and dangle him from the rafters.
Connie Chung's just crying.
Yeah.
Out.
But it's just like so, because it's like, okay, this is like a really heartwarming, pulls at your heartstrings tale. But Busy Bone's got druids with him. He's got druids with him.
Well, they got to do a little chant to make sure he never comes back and he's the father. They have that protection.
That is if Make-A-Wish is listening, if I ever contract some terminal illness, that is my final wish. I want the entire Maury studio audience, Maury, and at least one father in question to be brought into my hospital room and then fight over me while it's going on. It's just, you are not the father. Oh, hell yeah!
And you have to have that flat screen TV where they're like pointing at the baby face. Those are my eyes.
Yeah.
Look at those ears.
Those
Look
are
at that
not
baby
my
ears.
eyes. Those are not my nose. I don't have a nose. I don't have a nose.
It's Voldemort.
I don't have a nose.
Yeah, more. I mean, it's like one of those. Like, I used to watch like Jerry Springer with my dad. That was our guilty pleasure. But,
yeah.
it's just one of those things that, like, with a lot of that stuff, I just don't have the heart because I just watch it. I'm like, God, these people are being exploited. I can't.
Yeah.
And I just like.
Well, it's not real. Which is
no, not Maury. Maury's, yeah, it's
completely.
But like I'm talking about
reality documentary.
Yeah,
shows.
because it's like, man, these people are getting paid for nothing.
Yeah.
And they all think they're gonna have something
I'm
after
gonna make
that.
big.
And they just
Well, one of the first jokes I ever had came from a conversation that I had with my friend Caroline because we used to watch all this shit TV together. Was that we were talking about on Hoarders? The end result is like just baseline. It's like they don't do that much for them.
Right.
They kind of half-ass give them a therapist to talk to, but it's just for the time that they're filming.
Mm-hmm.
And when the show is done, like there's the before and after photo is pretty dramatic, but they still live in a pretty shitty house. It's like rare that they get a new house, know?
Right.
So one of the first things that I ever said on stage was that like, what we need to do is quit fucking around and bring in Exhibit and have Pimp My Horde. And it's like, and I said it like, I'm kind of serious. Like, do more.
Yeah.
You've got this huge network, and you are sort of exploiting the people. Like, at the end, they should have a fucking awesome house. Or they should, what I really want to see most of the time is, like, the house is fucked. When they're done cleaning it up, like, there's one episode where, like, goats ate the back of the house.
Oh, Lordy.
And they didn't know. So they just
That
moved
must
this.
take a lot of goats.
Were they hoarding goats?
She had a bunch of goats in her backyard, right? And then there was just this one room that was facing the backyard that had a huge pile of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when they moved the pile of stuff, there was a huge hole because the goats had been eating the back of the house. And
They'll eat anything.
Yeah. And at that point, you're like, move them, put them in a nursing home, burn the fucking house down, and then you do
Put the
something.
goats in a nursing home?
But you're right, though, that environment's
No,
still
the lady.
so triggering, and they don't have any aftercare set up
Yeah.
for them. So
So-
I would imagine most of them relapse after that because there's no support structure there.
Right. But yeah,
So hoarders, if you're listening, shame on you.
Shameful.
No,
For
shame on
shame.
A&E, man. That
no
was
kidding.
because that was always the point.
Arts
of the,
and entertainment. I guess we'll stress the entertainment
know
part.
art.
It's not a joke. all these cable channels used to actually be on topic, but there was just
there were
this,
niche audience.
There's been so much network drift now that they all just show reality shows. You try to watch like the Animal Channel,
and they're cheap.
And it's people making fish tanks and shit like that.
Now, to be fair though, Animal Planet reality shows.
Oh, the one with them whale people. What was that thing called?
Oh, the
Whale Wars or something?
Whale Wars.
Wars.
I used to love that thing, especially because it was always on in the middle of the summer when it was real hot, and you could just watch them sail around in the Arctic and shit like that. Just feel
Put
cooler.
on a fan. It's like
Too Cute. Too Cute is the one that I like on Animal Planet.
It's got
they're
little cute
so
animals.
cute.
I know.
Oh, they're so cute.
Well, it's the
Wait,
baby.
is that the name of the show?
Too Cute.
Yeah.
So it's just like these it'll be like a litter of puppies and they'll be like, these are Bichon Frise, and it's just like the same voiceover guy, and they give him little names. Owen doesn't like to hang out with the rest of the litter.
Pay no attention to the war, or that the banks are stealing all the money.
And Bruce is the scrappy runt of the group.
It's a violent and it's a horrible world out there. But you got to make room for some cute every now and
I
then.
mean, I think that's funny, but god damn it.
And they play the rights-free cute music in the background. The one that's
sounds like it's so cute.
What is
your all-time?
Yeah,
What's the all-time?
All-time guilty, because we got to take it home.
All right.
Yeah, I got to get on the golf course.
Yeah, right. Say yes to the dress.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one we didn't talk about just because I love things that I'll never want on women that I'll never be friends with. I like seeing how the other half lives.
What was the worst dress of all time?
The worst dress was a $15,000, looked like a piece of negligee, peach.
Peach.
And she was a virgin bride, and Mom did not like that one bit.
Didn't like she's a virgin?
Didn't like that she was wearing peach.
Peach.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Because she should be in white.
Well, she
My
should be. She
my
earned
favorite
it.
was last year when they had the bridal train that the baby was attached to the end of it. Did you see that? That was that story came straight from Alabama. There was a woman with a.
Well, it wasn't a live baby.
It was a live baby. There was a woman in Alabama.
Like they said it there like Moses in the reeds?
No, yes.
Like a baby Bjorn
Okay,
thing?
no, hear me out. This woman had a huge dress with a 15-foot long bridal train behind it, and in the train, nestled at the end of the train, was their live baby daughter.
Oh.
Just wrapped up in the dress, and she just dragged it. You can see this shit on YouTube if you don't believe me.
I love that.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's a giant middle finger to the whole
it's so
thing.
great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I saw it, and man, I follow all the local
Just
news
pissing
Facebook
off
groups.
liberals.
No,
Why'd you
pissing
do it?
off everybody.
Everybody.
That was the one
Child
thing.
services.
I'm
Well,
subscribed
he does
to.
get to be in a parade, kind of.
I've liked all of the local news organizations on Facebook from my hometown just to get in fights with rednecks. That was the one issue that everybody came together and was like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong?
The Great Equalizer.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And that kid's going to have some weird kinks when he grows up, man. I just can't do it unless there's 30 witnesses and my
And
mom's
I'm being
chiffon.
slid along
Yeah.
a floor, a dirty church floor.
You're going to be a kinky kid.
Yep.
You saw me crying in the chapel. The tears I shed were tears of joy. I know the meaning of contentment. Now I'm happy with the Lord.
Emily, where can people find you on Facebook?
They can find me
Or
on
the internet.
Facebook. My name is spelled Mellin. I'm on Twitter at Emily @Emily_Mellin because there's another one. It's not me.
Okay.
And at Old Lady Emmy on the Instagram.
Old Lady Emmy. I
Old
like
Lady
that.
Emmy. That's me.
That's outstanding.
We're going to win an Emmy Award actually today for excellence.
We
in
already
guilty
won one.
programming.
In guilty programming,
We did.
yeah.
Oh, I've not seen a dime from that damn Emmy. Anyway, I got my tea time coming up, Rivers.
Who's in your foursome?
My foursome?
Yeah, for
Well,
golf.
Suzanne Summers would be my dream one. to
No,
start
in
with.
your golf foursome.
Oh, my golf foursome? Barry Darsow, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Lee Trevino, and Payne Stewart be there in spirit, which is like a sixtum, but I like to do everything. I like to give 150% to everything.
All right, you can find us on Facebook.com/TheGoodsPod, Twitter.com/TheGoodsPod, every episode ever, YouTube.com/TheGoodsPod. And we'll take you out now with a band from Oxford, Mississippi. They put out a fucking awesome record last year. The name of the band is Bass Drum of Death, and the record is called Rip This, and this song is called Electric. And we'll see you next time.
To